meeting to order. This is a public hearing, truth and taxation hearing that we're going to begin with. The Board of Commissioners meeting immediately follows it. I assume the clerk has recorded the attendance for truth and taxation. This is a state-required exercise that we do. And I'll read from the public notice that we are considering the 2017 millage rates. If adopted, the proposed additional millage will increase operating revenues from ad valorem property rates 1.77% over such revenues generated by levies permitted without holding a hearing. If the proposed additional millage rate is not approved, the operating revenue would decrease by 0.64% below the preceding year's operating revenue. And that is just the purpose for the public hearing, is the truth and taxation. Notices have been published. And does anybody want to speak under public comment regarding the truth and taxation hearing? Second call for truth and taxation comments. And I'll close the public comment portion of it. I don't think there's any action we need to take, is there? Sharon?
Like, it's on the agenda, sir?
Yeah, for the regular board meeting.
Regular
Yeah.
board meeting, and at that time you'll announce the millage rates.
Right. All right. Seeing that we have concluded that brief exercise of having a public hearing for truth and taxation, I will call that meeting to be closed, and we will call to order the Board of Commissioners meeting. And this is our regular board meeting for the month of June. And as always, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Will Commissioner Egan start us off?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And clerk, please take roll call attendance.
Commissioner Egan.
Aye.
Commissioner Martin. Commissioner McLean.
Here.
Commissioner Savoy.
Here.
And Chairman Shackleton.
I am here, and we have a quorum, so we will proceed. Item 4 is additions, deletions, and agenda approval.
I would like to add the building grounds meeting June 9th as item 11D.
Okay. Would you like to make a motion that we accept the minutes,
Sure.
or rather the agenda as submitted, but with that one change?
Included.
Okay.
Support.
So the motion is made that we approve the agenda as submitted with the addition of building and grounds meeting minutes added to the agenda. Is there any further discussion on that motion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
If you're opposed, vote nay. Motion carries. Approval of county board minutes. We start with the regular board minutes of May 8th, which is on page 3. We have the investment committee minutes of May 16th, that's on page 16. We have the small cities committee minutes, which is on page 21. We can take those singly or all together.
I'd move we adopt all the minutes as submitted.
Second.
Motion made and supported that we approve the minutes for those 3 meetings as were submitted. Is there any discussion on the motion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries. We move to correspondence received in the clerk's office, page 22. And as usual, we will have a number of letters and notices that come to the county clerk.
I'd move that we acknowledge the receipt of the information sent to the county clerk's office and forward it to the appropriate committees.
Support.
Motion made and supported that we acknowledge the correspondence received in the clerk's office and forward as appropriate. Is there discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries. We move to public comments. Anybody like to speak under public comments? This is your opportunity.
Gary Sharp, President and CEO of Old Mission Bank.
we have you come up where one of the microphones are so that it'll pick you up, please? Yeah, either one is fine.
Either one? Okay. My comments are again based on the investment policy that you folks are going to be ratifying or voting on later in the agenda. Two comments I'd like to make is that I looked at last couple of your investment statements, and there's obviously a considerable amount of money that the county does invest, and there's a considerable amount that is invested, with some local institutions, but there's also two major sources that are outside the county and downstate. The last statement I saw was about $4 million. The other comment I'd like to make is that you used to bid these funds out, and I will tell you, we have not been offered to bid on any of these funds in at least the last 2 years. Why that is, I have no idea, but we were very active previously. And at this point, we do not hold any of the county funds whatsoever. We do hold other municipality funds. I guess I don't need to, tell you, the funds that we relend, come from depositors, including municipalities and county officials. So, if there is approximately $4 million that is leaving the county, and we as a significant player in this community and the county, reinvesting those dollars that we do take in as deposits for the good of the county and the municipality that are relent and come back, and it's proven fact that those dollars return back to the community and the county multiple times when it is invested, within your local institutions. So I just implore you folks to, return to the bidding process, or please address to me why we've been admitted from the bidding list, because we're at a loss for why that has happened, and especially when there's a significant amount of dollars that are leaving this community downstate that could stay here for our benefit to relend for our citizens and the well-being of our communities. So I just ask that you, review that policy and return to the bid process, because I think it's very important. You folks would get your best investment rate when you have people bidding against each other. And looking at the rates that were published, and I was looking at a February 16 statement, and our rates that were in effect back then, we beat the downstate investors handily. And if you would have shopped that with us, I think you would have benefited from that as you could today. So I just want to make that public comment for consideration when you guys do discuss and vote on your new investment policy. I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else care to speak under public comment?
A citizen asked me to be here at this meeting, but I got misinformation. It was the finance committee. But since it's a full board, I got other comments I want to make. I want to echo Gary's comments. I think he's right. I've long advocated on the Cloverland board, people can't pick where they buy their electricity. Same thing here. They can't pick where they're going to pay their taxes. So every effort should be made to keep as many of those dollars invested locally. I've been studying for some time the Act 51, how the monies are split up between the townships and the cities and the state. And I guess I should be after the city commission more, but I'd ask that Commissioner Martin and Scott, you're the Sioux representative. We need to start working together, the county and the city. I mean, the streets, until I got working at Cloverland, I had no idea how much of the Elk County was paved. The roads are in great shape. County Commission's done a great job. But it says right in Act 51, the County Road Commission may designate a primary road inside a municipality. I don't think the Sioux residents are getting their fair return on their tax dollars. We get to pay for a police department and a sheriff's department. We get to pay for a road commission as well as a street department. We really need to get some of those monies coming back. They should designate some arteries in the city. If the county is not gonna prosper if the city doesn't prosper, and the city of Sault Ste. Marie is in big trouble. All you gotta do is look around. Streets, people have given up complaining. So I really encourage Jim and Scott to get with the city and try and work something out. The puller, there's many areas in the city where they feel, hey, I'm supporting this, but the Oak County people come in and use it. I know when my road's gonna get redone, I'm probably gonna pay $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Whereas my brother on Riverside Drive got redone, got twice the house I got, pays half the tax bill, and didn't have to pay anything to have the road fixed. Like I said, when I transferred and got hired on at Cloverland, I got out, there's Sullivan Creek Road and other ones that are paved, they're tremendous. There's a couple hunting cabins on as always there. So I really encourage you to try and look at that and get with the city commission.
Thank you. Anyone else care to speak under public comment today? Last chance, public comment. Public comment period is closed. We move on to the administrator's report. Administrator German.
You'll see the various reports attached there, as well as something on essential air services from Dickinson County, which could well affect our county also, so that's everybody aware. And I also wanted to thank my good friend Chris Cavil, who is retiring, and Weed County has enjoyed a very good relationship with Chris for many years. And then one more thing everybody is aware of, our joint cooperative effort with this, mainly the city and somewhat with the road commission and EUPISD. It was a very great team that we put together, and it came out well to the benefit of the county, and I commend Walmart for finally seeing the fairness in it. And I want to thank the county commission for giving their backing to doing what we did. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Administrator. Move to old business. We do not have any items itemized under old business, so we'll move to new business. Our first one is the resolution 1715. This is the resolution imposing the 2017 property tax. It is on page 38 rather, on page 38 of your packet.
I'd move resolution 1715 imposing the 2017 property tax.
I'll support.
Motion made and supported that we pass the resolution for 2017 property tax. Is there discussion? Would the clerk please take a roll call vote on this resolution?
Commissioner Egan,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Commissioner McLean,
Yes.
Commissioner Savoy,
Yes.
and Chairman Shackleton.
Yes. Item B is the resolution 1716 to protect the My Choice program. This is on page 41.
So moved.
Support.
Motion made and supported that we pass this resolution. Is there discussion? Would the clerk please take a roll call vote?
Commissioner Egan,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Commissioner McLean,
Yes.
Commissioner Savoy,
Yes.
and Chairman Shackleton.
Yes. So that passes. Resolution 1717 is item C, as to preserve the public mental health system. It is on page 47.
I'd move resolution 1717 to preserve the public mental health system.
I'll support.
Motion is made and supported that we pass resolution 1717. Is there discussion? Will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
Commissioner Egan,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Commissioner McLean,
Yes.
Commissioner Savoy,
Yes.
and Chairman Shackleton.
Yes. Item 1718, which is item D, resolution 1718, Chippewa County Investment Policy. This is on page 51.
I'd move 1718 Chippewa County Investment Policy.
Support.
A motion made and supported. Is there discussion on this?
I've got a question. We had a public comment that we moved away from the bid process and at some point, for, investments. Is there something in institutional memory here when we did that?
I personally don't ever remember doing a bid process. But once again, that would all be up to the treasurer, I believe. They handle the county's money. The commission does not set the rules that go forth with that.
But we give her that power, correct?
No.
No.
State of Michigan
State of
gives her that
Michigan
power.
does, okay,
Yeah.
so what exactly can we change about this to?
Not much.
Exactly, so.
Yeah, well, what I would encourage, if I may jump in, is that if anyone has any questions about the investment policy, including you, Mr. Sharp, I'd invite you to sit down and talk with the county treasurer. She's both empowered and restricted greatly by the state of Michigan about where investments may go and may not go. I think that she historically has certainly made a great effort to diversify and to keep them local as much as possible. And if she can do better, then I'd encourage you to sit down and talk to her. I think you'll find the treasurer to be very open to it. She is an elected official. She answers to the public, and she is empowered to make these investments, which are all, again, highly restricted and very conservative. You know, so we don't usually engage in back and forth during a meeting by just asking, have you ever contacted her to talk about it?
We not, to my knowledge, usually run it through our CFO.
Okay. I would just suggest, though, that you talk to her, and, you know, and we can all, I think, informally also just encourage the treasurer that whenever it's possible and prudent, keep it local, because I think we would all want that.
I would like to echo that, and it is disappointing to see, you know, a bank that is owned by a foreign country. The private bank is owned by BMO Harris out of Montreal, so it would be nice to see it at least staying in country, if not in county. So.
Anyone else?
I just, you know, we've talked about this, I've been on the commission for 8 years, and we talk about this, and I got to fault myself because I've never sat down with Margie and looked at it, but from the information that I've gotten from other people, there are numbers of moving parts to this. And the bid process, like the length of time that the investment is made for, I believe that she maybe just does her survey relative, or takes bids relative to the phone, rather than being a formal bid process. And again, all the restrictions that are at the state level, I don't think there was any intent, you know, I guess she's looking out to get the best interest rate and the safest things and follow the rules. And I guess what we could do as a county commission is encourage her, you know, if at all possible, to do it local. And I think that the lending institutions would be wise to contact her, find out exactly when this bid process takes place, so that you can be prepared for it. And again, it's like you would expect for any county business or public business that you go to the highest bidder. And that's, you know, how I feel about it. Because again, I've been questioned it a number of times, and I'm going to take the opportunity to sit down with her and talk to her about a number of things.
Okay. Commissioner Martin?
It's really like everything else. When we're bidding out or looking to purchase anything or any service, we go with the low bidder. When it comes to our investments, we generally speaking go with the high bidder because we have the fiduciary responsibility, the taxpayers, above and beyond, I think, almost anything else, because our tax dollars that we collect, we want to make sure that they do the most work for the most people. What Mr. Schrock was saying about roads. I mean, the more money we get in our investments, then the more money that we can use to do the things that county government does. So, you know, I cannot imagine that she doesn't shop local first and foremost, but I also see the position that she's in with the restrictions that we have at the state level, that generally speaking, you've got to invest that money in a place where we're going to get the most return, local or not. And I know we do have the policy with bids and equipment, if it's within 10%, we keep it local. And I don't know if there's anything like that with Margie. So, you know, again, what Chairman Shackleton said, talk to her. She's very approachable, very professional. And look at the last couple elections, people are very happy with it. And ultimately, that's who she answers to, not even really to us, she answers to the voters. And, she's gonna get as much money out of those tax dollars as she can, it's just her duty.
Okay,
Chairman? I just wanna, Commissioner Martin mentioned something that, when we purchase vehicles and so on, we have I think there's a 5 or 10%, 5% allowance that we could go with local, and I don't know, I wouldn't even know whether that would be allowable under state law.
I'm
I
pretty
just-
confident it would not be allowable.
But, but if there were something like that could be done, that would be something that I would encourage also to keep the money local.
I'd just like to make a correction. I made a statement that the private bank is owned by BMO Harris. It's owned by CIBC, which is a different Canadian bank. So I want to get my facts straight. That's all.
All right. I think we're prepared to vote on it. Would the clerk please take a roll call vote?
Commissioner Egan.
Aye.
Commissioner Martin.
Alright,
Commissioner McLean.
Yes,
Commissioner Savoy.
Yes.
And Chairman Shackleton.
Yes, and that passes as well. We move to item 11, standing committee reports. The first one being Personnel, Equalization, Transportation, Health, and Social Services. Commissioner Egan's the chair, and will give us his report. It's on page 55.
I was late to that meeting, and you chaired it.
Oh, that's that one.
Yeah. Do you want to do it or?
No,
want
you're
me
the chair. You do it.
Tried to get out of it. A regular meeting of the Chippewa County Board of Commissioners Personnel, Equalization, and Apportionment, Transportation, Health, and Social Services Committee was held on Friday, May 12th, 2017 at the Chippewa County Building, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Chairman Scott Shackleton called the meeting to order at 3:20 or 3:25.
Okay.
I'm not sure of with this. With a quorum present, members present were Scott Shackleton, Bobby Savoy, and Connor Egan, arriving late at 3:30. No members absent. Others present were Karen Sankus, Lana Forrest, Tina Ojala, Jim German, Kelly Church. There were no additions or deletions to the agenda. It was moved by Commissioner Savoy, supported by Commissioner Shackleton to approve the agenda as presented on a voice vote. That motion carried, and I would so move.
All right. Motion made.
I don't think we need to vote on that.
Yeah, we don't need to vote on it. There was no action
Okay.
taken. So.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, that was my bad. Move along to public comment. There was none. First agenda item, Health Department staffing update. Committee received an update listing as to the personnel changes that have taken place at the Health Department since January 1st. The update includes the elimination of one data entry clerk from the Health Department's Finance Department. This position duties will be absorbed by others in the department. Administrator German commended the Health Department administrator for being proactive in helping to continue to reduce costs of the Health Department. It was moved by Commissioner Savoy, supported by Commissioner Shackleton, to approve the elimination of the data entry clerk in the Health Department's Finance Department. On a voice vote, that motion carried, and I would so move.
Support. All right. Motion made and supported. Is there any discussion on that motion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries. Looking ahead in this, whoever wrote this one was, wrote a lot of detail. Wrote a lot of detail.
Okay,
So
I'll
if you'd like to
paraphrase.
summarize a little bit, I don't think
I'll be
anybody
here
will object.
All right. The next agenda item was a Health Department Policy 70147. The committee reviewed new community health service policy. It was moved by Commissioner Savoy and seconded by Commissioner Shackleton to approve Community Health Services Policy 7.01-47 for MIHP International Board Certified Lactation Consultant Requirements and Guidelines of the State of Michigan as presented. On a voice vote, that motion was carried, and I would so move.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Any discussion on that one? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
The next one was county staffing update. No action was taken as the committee was updated on employee movement. County handbook policies, county and health department. This was a realignment of the health department and also the county's handbooks to mirror each other. It was moved by Commissioner Savoy and seconded by Commissioner Shackleton to approve the employee benefit changes between the health department and the county as follows. Non-union employees' evaluations will be eliminated unless they are needed for accreditation of the program. Add the employee assistance program for the county employees. Change the health department life insurance to 1x annual salary. Change vacation carryover accrual to 40 hours effective January 1st, 2020 for the health department. Increase personnel days for the health department to 4 days effective January 1st, 2020. On a voice vote, that motion carried, and I would so move.
Support.
Motion made and supported that we continue the process of equalizing benefits between the county health department and with the rest of the county, I guess is the best way to put it. Any discussion?
Yeah, I noticed here that we've added an employee assistance program to the county side of this. And that's something that I've heard about for years, and I really am glad that that comes about. They've made some changes, and we're picking up the addition of this, and this is an important thing for our employees when they start having difficulty over a variety of things.
Thank you. Anything else? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
The committee recessed from 3:35 to 3:45 p.m. Now we're going to move on to the court's personnel request. This is a very detailed one. Court personnel request, Circuit Court Administrator Tina Ojala. It was moved by Commissioner Savoy and supported by Commissioner Egan to approve the combining of magistrate, referee, CJO, and the friend of the court positions to pay the new position at a grade 20 4-year level, waiving policy 211 effective 5/16/2017 to budget $2,500 to finish the circuit court jury room project cabinetry, and to forward the single point of entry plan to the Building and Grounds Committee for the security of both the courthouse and the county building by utilizing the money saved from this plan. On a voice vote, that motion carried, and I would so move.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Is there discussion?
Just one question. When we talked about the savings from salaries and so on, are the magistrate or the friend of the court, are they reimbursed from the state?
Front of the court portion is.
Okay, but the magistrate isn't. Now, with this change, we will still be able to get
Yes.
the funding.
For
Okay.
that portion, right? Kelly? Where's Kelly? That we'll get front of the court portion reimbursed, yeah.
66% from the CRP program.
Yeah.
Okay, but we.
So we're not foregoing that.
Okay, that's what I was concerned about. It occurred to me today that I had heard that they were funded partially by the state, so, okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I'd just like to give compliments to everyone involved in this. This is the type of thing we need to look to going forward. We're taking two very responsible positions, magistrate and friend of the court, and we're combining them and saving significantly by doing so. And it probably won't be the last time we combine positions in the years to come. So, anyone else? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
Committee comments. The commissioners unanimously complimented the equalization department staff on a job well done. There were no chairman comments. It was moved by Commissioner Savoy and seconded by Commissioner Egan to adjourn the meeting. On a voice vote, that motion carried. The meeting was adjourned at 4:01 p.m. And I would move the meeting minutes as presented.
Support.
Motion made to accept and approve the minutes for the Personnel Equalization, Enforcement, Transportation, Social Services Committee. That meeting being held on May 12th. Is there any discussion on the motion? This is just accepting the minutes. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries. All right, we move forward. Onward, as they're saying. Who's next? Is it,
Special meeting.
is it you?
I've got it.
Finance Committee, report, please.
A special meeting of the Chippewa County Board of Commissioners Finance Claims and Account Committee was held Friday, May 12th, 2017 at Chippewa County Courthouse. Chairman, I called the meeting to order at 4:04 p.m. with a quorum present. Myself, Commissioner Shackleton, Commissioner Egan, Commissioner McLean, and Commissioner Savoy were there. Ken Toolsma from Anderson Tackman and Company, Lana Forrest, Karen Sankis, Christine Lundquist, Jim German, and Kelly Church were also present. There were no additions or deletions to the agenda. It's moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Egan to approve the agenda as presented, and a voice vote, that motion carried. This was a special meeting, basically to discuss our audit. I could sit here and read this font 8, 45 lines to you.
No, you can't.
We won't sit for it.
I know it.
But long story short, the county is in excellent financial, yes? Or do I have to read it all?
This is the health department
Oh,
audit we're talking
I
about
thought
here.
this was,
No, that's
oh, crud
the
puppies.
next one.
Yeah, I don't have an addition. And
No, you did.
I do now, okay. But, okay,
So that's
Oh,
the
awesome.
May 12th meeting.
the May 12th meeting. I thought we had the audit meeting though too.
No,
Jeez.
that was the June.
That was just,
Losing my mind.
How time flies.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was. Okay.
but your comment still stands.
Yes.
Finances are in reasonably good shape
Um,
here.
Gosh. For,
Just go to 6. You're
yeah,
fine.
go to 6? Okay. Geez, oh Pete, this is not, I think it says that 2016-002. It's recommended the Health Department's Chief Administrator Office and personnel responsible for administering the activities of the various funds of the Health Department develop budgetary control procedures for the operating fund, which will assist the expenditures do not exceed amount authorized by the General Appropriation Act or amended thereof. It was moved by Commissioner Shackleton, supported by Commissioner Savoy to accept and approve the fiscal year 2016 audit, Chippewa County Health Department as presented, and a voice vote, that motion carried, and I would so move.
Okay, that's the action we need to take, is to accept the audit. Okay. Motion is on the floor. Is there any discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
I was thinking the audit meeting was a special meeting.
No, the health department.
Okay, Health Department was. Too many meetings. Regular meeting of Chippewa County Board of Commissioners Finance Claims and Accounts Committee was held on Thursday, June 8, 2017, Chippewa County Courthouse, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. It was called to order at 5:30 with myself, Commissioner McLean, Commissioner Egan, and Commissioner Savoy present. Commissioner Shackleton was absent. Joe Verlin of Gabbridge and Company, Jim German, Karen Sankis, and Kelly Church were also present. It was moved by Commissioner Savoy, supported by Commissioner Egan, to amend the agenda to withdraw 3C shack fees and to add for Register of Deeds agreement for internet access to the real estate records. On a voice vote, that motion carried, and I would so move.
You don't need to do that.
Motion made and supported. Is there discussion?
Do we need to do that?
Do we need to do that?
Go on.
No, it's just an
I
internal.
don't have it in front of me, so.
Oh, whatever.
Okay.
Take a vote on it.
Gosh, I forgot my glasses, can you tell?
Let's just
Alright.
vote. All in
Okay.
favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote
There
nay.
you
Motion
go.
carries. Alright.
It's been a long day. There was no
Start
public
watching.
comment offered. Next was presentation of the fiscal year 2016 audit by Gabbridge and Company. Again, Mr. Joe Verlin. He presented and reviewed documents including the fiscal year 16, along with a history of the county dating back the last 5 years. As I said before, the county is in very good shape. We had a budget. Every department stayed underneath budget, which they are certainly to be thanked for that. The audit presentation going from one company to another was seamless, which was very good. We had fresh eyes come in and see what we've known for a while here. The county is in great financial shape based upon all the cuts from Lansing and every other thing, but things like we just did with the magistrate in front of court are helping to make the county work well. We discussed the motion and the strong statement that the audit made, and we also discussed a motion to, and this is Commissioner Savoy's and Commissioner McLean's motion, correct? To, for,
Put money into MERS.
put money into the retirement system. After discussion, that was felt to be something very important for our employees. It was moved by Commissioner Savoy, approved by Commissioner Egan, supported by Commissioner Egan to approve and authorize distribution of the 12/31/16 audit as presented, and to have $200,000 of the excess balance from 12/31/16 be sent to MERS to start covering the gap of the county's unfunded pension liability. To authorize administration to work with MERS on the allocation and to make the payment in conjunction of the retiree health funding vehicle. Payment per county policy, as long as there were no unexpected issues. On a voice vote, that motion carried, and I would so move.
Support.
All right, motion made and supported. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that, this was Commissioner Savoy's idea, and it was an incredible idea.
Oh.
It's nice to see all of our departments coming together and coming in under budget, and, you know, we got a great team here at Chippewa County, and it's easy to wanna reward them for it. The only thing I would like to add is that, you know, there are some part-time employees who aren't gonna benefit from this. It would be nice if we could do something for them as well. You know, they were part of the team that helped us come in under budget as well.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I believe the part-timers did get a small raise this year, so that's first in like 8 years, so in actuality, we give them a little bit, but, again, I'd like to thank all the employees, department heads. Our revenue was up last year and our expenditures were down, and the board feels that it's very important to give that back to the employees in the form of our unfunded mandates for the benefits that we promise, and make sure they're there in the future, so thank you.
You know, when you look at the state of Michigan and all the cities and counties and townships, one of the things you hear a lot about are the unfunded liabilities. And most of that is pension benefits and health insurance benefits that retirees are eligible for and will get when they retire. And we are doing a very commendable job of putting away money for the future and to cover those expenses. And that's to the credit of everybody on this board and to the administration too and their leadership. So I'm very proud that we're going in that direction, and this is one more chunk towards those liabilities that will ensure that our retirees get the benefits they earned. So we have a motion on the floor. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
The committee reviewed investment committee meeting of May 16, 2017. The minutes followed the OPEB Health Care Retirement Vehicle Annual Funding Policy number 314, who recommended to the board to change and diversify the investments of Chippewa County Health Department's retiree health funding vehicle to mirror the portfolio of the county with 50% in each MERS and total market portfolio and 50% in the MERS capital appreciation portfolio. After discussion, it was moved by Commissioner Egan, supported by Commissioner McLean, to follow the recommendation to have Chippewa County Health Department Retirement Fund Vehicle with MERS be changed to have 50% of the funds in the MERS total market portfolio and 50% of the MERS capital appreciation portfolio. On a voice vote, that motion carried, and I would so move.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Is there discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
Next, we turn to update policy 410, travel and business expenses. Long story short here, we're going to allow our employees to go to a grocery store and buy meals at a grocery store, because sometimes the choices where they stay aren't real good, and it'll save us quite a bit of money per day, because there's a $10 per day limit for non-restaurant grocery food. As such, it was moved by Commissioner Savoy, supported by Commissioner Egan, to approve policy 410, travel policy and business expenses as presented, clarifying off-site in-county meals and adding a $10 daily grocery option. On a voice vote, that motion carried, and I would so move.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Is there discussion?
I'd just like to, say that I got to see this firsthand at the health department, the $10 a day limit. and it works, and it gives a healthier option to our employees, which helps the county save money on our health insurance down the road, so it's a win-win.
Anyone else? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
Committee was given the county's current investment policy. It needs to be reviewed biannually, and which follows Act 20, should be Public Act 20, 1985, MCL 129.91, authorizing county's treasurer to invest county surplus funds in certain specific investments. In accordance with MCL 129-12, no action was taken, as Resolution 17-18 is on the agenda for the board meeting today. Next, we had to next we received and had reviewed the annual report of balance of land sale parcels, accounts provided by the county treasurer in accordance with MCL 211-78, 8 and H. It was moved by Commissioner Savoy and supported by Commissioner McLean to accept and approve the annual report of balance in land sale proceeds. As presented, with the amount available to transfer $51,118.10 to the general fund by 12/31/2017. On a voice vote, that motion carried, and I would so move.
Support.
Motion made and support. Any discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries. I just want to assure you, we're getting near the end. This won't go on all day.
Gosh, we had a long meeting though. Yeah,
Yeah.
he ducked out the right time. He must have.
Yeah.
Committee reviewed a pink ribbon expenditure of 2017 -03 and 2017-04, which allows for all donated funds to be given to clients diagnosed with breast and/or cervical cancer requiring assistance with travel and lodging. After discussion and following policy 1.99-013, it was moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Savoy, to approve the pink ribbon expenditure 2017-03 of $1,583.83 and expenditure 2017-404 of $2,449.58 as presented, following policy 1.99-013. On a voice vote, that motion carried, and I would so move.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Is there discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
It was then, we then revised, had a revised agreement on real estate records. Basically, we're gonna have a user fee of $100 per month to clarify the annual agreement between the county and users. It was moved by Commissioner Egan, supported by Commissioner Savoy, to approve the revised agreement between Chippewa County Register of Deeds and users to provide secure internet access to real estate records in Chippewa County on an annual basis with the fees as described. And a voice vote, that motion carried, and I would so move.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Any discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
We then had to pay the bills. It was moved by Commissioner Egan, supported by Commissioner Savoy, to recommend approval of May bills and payroll as follows. General claims totaling $228,274.96. Other fund claims of $325,245,425.04. Payroll of $474,163.83. Health Department claims of $264,895.84. And Health Department payroll of $196,188.15. Total claims of $1,488,767.82. And vouchers H1 through H220. On a voice vote, that motion carried, and I would so move.
Support.
Motion made and supported that we pay the bills and vouchers and claims. Any discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
Commissioner comments. Commissioner Egan talked about Internet Consortium meeting in Drummond Island Township, and Commissioner Klein reminded other commissioners about MAC's summer day meetings that are a benefit for all to attend. It was then moved by Commissioner Savoy, supported by Commissioner Egan, to adjourn. Therefore, I would move that the minutes as presented
Support.
be approved.
Motion made that we accept the minutes of the Finance, Claims, and Accounts Committee meeting of June 8th. Any discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries. What do we move on to now?
Building and grounds.
Building and grounds, thank you. Yeah, this was added onto our agenda, and it is in the back of our packet, or where is it?
That's an add-on.
Separate.
Add on here. All right, well, you guys have it.
You got it?
Whoops, sorry.
Thank you. Who is, you're gonna miss building and grounds. All right, go ahead.
You got it, sir?
I got it. Who's who's gonna give us the report?
I am.
All right, Commissioner Savoy, please give us your report.
A regular meeting of Chippewa County Board of Commissioners Building and Grounds was held on June 9th, 2017, at Chippewa County Building, Sault Ste. Marie. Chairman Savoy called the meeting to order at 9 a.m. with the quorum present. Members present were Commissioners Don McLean, myself. Members absent, Commissioner Martin. I'd like to add that it's the last day of school and possible for him to get away. There were other members present. Additions, deletions to agenda was moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by myself, to approve the agenda as presented on voice vote. The motion is carried. Public comments, there were non-agenda items. The courthouse roof, Jeremy Gognine of the UP Engineers Architects presented to the committee the plans for the roof project. There was a lot of discussion on it. It was then moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Savoy, to approve the project to continue with advertisement and bidding requirements of the courthouse roof projects. Bids will be due at the UP Engineers and Architects Office on June 30th, 2017. On a voice vote, and motion carried, I would so move.
Support.
Motion made and supported that we proceed with that roof project. Is there any discussion?
I'm just wondering, to what extent do we know that the possibility of change orders exist? Seeing that in a,
It's very,
Scary?
very likely.
okay,
And I know, I'd like to add, I think everyone bidding, there's a mandatory walkthrough, I believe it was the 27th or 26th. But we do expect a lot of,
I know
I know there's.
change orders are where contractors make their bread and butter.
There's a lot of rotten lumber up there, and that's why with the excess funds the last year, we put 200 into the MERS unfunded liability, securing the rest for,
Yeah,
and on, for whatever projects.
I'll hold my breath.
Commissioner McLean?
I just want to mention to Commissioner Egan that was a big discussion relative to uncovering hidden treasures when you get up on that roof. And the thing about it is that the fellow from UP Engineers said that when contractors find that, he would be the first one up there to inspect it, just see what it is in order to protect our interests. That's why we're paying him the fee, and I think that he was well aware of the possibilities, and I think he's going to watch out for us very carefully.
Yeah, that's what we're paying them for. It's an old building.
Still scary.
Yeah. Do we have a motion on the floor?
Yes.
All right. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
Second agenda item is the courthouse and county building security. After very lengthy and much discussion, this is probably over an hour's worth, it was moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Savoy, to proceed with a single point of entry security bailiff as soon as viable for the Sheriff's Department operations of hiring and training, to have the metal detector placed in the county building front doors, and to have the county building covered 9 hours per day, Monday through Friday, and 8 hours per day for Saturday and Sunday for jail visitation hours, and to implement the security bailiff in the courthouse for security Monday through Friday, 9 hours per day, with the metal detector being implemented when feasible based on the roof project and the final location of the unit. On the voice vote, the motion carried, I would so move.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Is there discussion? Administrator German.
Just for those of you who were not at the meeting, we were originally realizing a savings from combining the two positions of around $110,000. We had come up with a figure at approximately $50,000 to staff this. Worst case scenario is that figure would be at 65, and once we added on the weekend jail visitation, it comes up to about 77, 75. So from the positions, I've heard nothing but compliments from our elected officials and from our department heads that are extremely excited about the additional security. We will save as a county still approximately $25,000 per year, but just so everyone is aware, during this meeting and covering on the weekend, we're probably gonna spend 75 at a worst case scenario on bailiffs.
I'd just like to say, if it prevents an incident, it's worth every single penny and then some.
I would agree with that, and after a lot of discussion, we realized that our equipment is on protected Saturdays and Sundays when the jail visitation isn't in progress. And we've had a lot of incidents on weekends. We've had damage to bathrooms. We've had a lot of things happen that shouldn't happen. So this is gonna cover 7 days a week. We're still saving money. I still give credit to Circuit Court, to the judge, to the court administrator, coming up with a way of consolidating possessions, making the funds available for this project we've been talking about for 8 years. The state court administrator was up here a week or two ago and learned about this, and they're excited. We are leading the pack in the UP for this project, and I think in the future you're going to see a lot more. It's when something happens, like Commissioner Egan just said, something happens, we can find the money. Here we're finding the money and a way to do it before something happens. And thank you.
Go ahead, Todd.
The first part of this, which deals with the county building, which we're in right now, was fairly easy to implement. The second part of it, which refers to when it's feasible, is the courthouse. And I would encourage all the commissioners to take a walk around and look, because we're considering using the old east entrance to the courthouse, which is not used now, it's locked, or using the wheelchair accessible ramp, which goes down. And you should go and look at both sites, because there's going to be a lot of discussion relative to whether we have room, which is the best way, and also the thing to play into it is that we have a snow and ice problem that apparently accumulates up to about 4 or 5 feet during the winter in front of the east entrance, the old east entrance. So I was talking about it at the meeting, and I said when I left the meeting, I'm not going to go over and look, but I couldn't resist. I went over and looked, and that was enlightening. And I'm sure that Administrator German or Assistant Administrator Church would gladly take you on a tour to show you and to give you some background relative to that.
With ADA though, I don't see how, we're locked into that entrance. I mean, unless we want to do some major construction on the north side or the south side, we're kind of locked into there. We may have to come up with something unique to deal with the snow, but we've got to have that building accessible to everyone. Yes.
Go ahead.
If it were to go on the first floor on the east end doors, there would still be a buzzer that would be down at the handicap ramp, and on the upstairs metal detector, it would say something like "be back in 5 minutes," or we've had the circuit court allow for our probation agents down in the basement to open the door and want somebody. So we would still have that entrance.
I like the idea.
This is why the meeting went on over an hour.
Single point of
It's a
entry,
tough
I
issue.
think, is the safest. And the more exceptions you have and the more entrances you have, the more danger you have. And this whole idea is to keep people safe. We deal with this at schools. all the
We
time.
discussed this for well over an hour, and I think we left it, we provided the resources, the funding for it, and Commissioner McLean came up with a brilliant idea, even because of the delay of the roof project, he wanted to start the uniform presence of having that bailiff or that deputy in the courtroom as soon as in the hallways as soon as possible without having the metal detector. But we left it up to the sheriff, as far as the operational part of it, where it's going to be placed, what's best suitable, they're the experts at it.
Sheriff and administration.
Yeah,
Administrator German or Assistant Administrator Church, are you available after the meeting for those of us that wanna go over and look at the locked entrance?
That's why I mentioned it, is that it's a complex issue and
Yeah.
go take a look to see what it looks like.
You know, and frankly, I think I'm the only one that feels this way, is that these buildings, well, you probably all feel this way, I don't know, but these buildings belong to the public. It's, it should be very easily and open and accessible to the public. I hate the idea that we're going to be locking down these buildings and that you have to go through a metal detector and through a uniformed officer in order to gain entry into these public buildings. I'm reluctant, but I know that I'm in the minority and it's gonna pass, so I pretty much am resolved to that, but I know that something bad can happen. I know that something bad can happen, but it can happen anywhere. It could happen at Walmart. It could happen out on the street in front of the building. I don't know. On the other hand, everybody thinks the security is important. I know other communities have done it too. So it's gonna go, and I think it's kind of sad.
It is, but it's the world we live in. Every day we gotta go in the building. I mean, one entrance and the kids walking around in the wintertime, because it's the world we live in now. It is a shame. I mean, remember the locks? You could just walk up and go in any gate and everything is wide open and everything's changed.
We're not that old. I don't know about you.
No.
Open lunch.
When we moved up here,
Oh,
we
Bobby
used to,
says yes.
there were like 6 different entrances where you could go in the lock. I mean, yeah,
But
there was
you're
a fence,
right.
but
You're right, it could happen in Walmart, but we can't do anything about that.
Exactly.
We
We
can
can't
do
control.
something about this. And our elected officials, our staff, it was brought up in this meeting by department head. There are certain people that when they go into the courtroom, or the court building over there, our staff freezes. And they are in fear, and that we've had an issue as recent as 2 weeks ago on security. Threats made to a public official, to the staff. We have the ability to do something, and we've been talking about for 8 years, and I'm very happy to see
if
it
you
happen.
can avoid it. Before we had security at the school, we had a parent come in who wanted to physically assault a student who'd made that person's daughter mad, and I believe Mr. Sherry took one right in the face before we had an officer in the building at that point, but Mr. Sherry's principal was assaulted.
That's the times we live
Before
in
this,
now.
and that wasn't even a gun or a knife or anything like that. But you know, the reality is that people just do horrible things. I mean, and you hate it. Hate that we have to spend this money. We hate that we have to gate the place up, but we have to keep everybody safe as well as we can, because we've been told. I know you were ground floor with what we've done in Sioux schools. It's to decrease the casualties. I mean, if someone really wants in and wants to do harm, they're going to. We just have to keep them as safe as we can and slow them down as much as we can.
All right, we do have a motion on the floor, I believe. It's been supported, hasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we just kind of nip the discussion and move on. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries. Health Department roof maintenance, sir.
Next agenda item, Health Department roof maintenance, $1,700. Apparently they have a leak and the roof is deteriorating. Next couple years, we're going to have to look at complete new roof over there. In the meantime, it was moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by myself, to approve the roof repair quote from Kaesner Construction in the amount of $1,700 to have the Health Department roof tower, wash, and patch on the vote. Motion carried. I would so move.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Is there discussion on that? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
Agenda item expiring Chippewa County millages, correctional facility and fire and ambulance. After lengthy discussion, it was moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Savoy, to have the ballot language for both the fire and ambulance renewal and the jail reduced millage request sent to the July Finance Committee for approval, both for 4-year requests to be placed on November ballot, acknowledging the cost of the election will be incurred by the county if no other questions are posed. On a voice vote, motion was carried, and I would so move.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Is there any discussion on this motion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
Mutual aid agreement between CLM Community Action and Chippewa County Animal Shelter was moved by Commissioner McLean, supported by Commissioner Savoy to approve the homeless pets in Chippewa County mutual aid agreement between CLM Community Action and Chippewa County Animal Control Shelter to have the board homeless pets have them board homeless pets up to 30 days to assist CLM CAA in placing families of homelessness with pets. On a voice vote, the motion carried. I would so move.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Any discussion?
I'd just like to say, this is one of those things where we have two agencies that have nothing to do with each other normally, but they're willing to work together. It just shows what a team we have here in Chippewa County. You know, it's one of those things that people don't think about a lot is, you know, homeless people who are part of an emergency or something like that don't have a place for their pets, so they stay someplace unsafe. This allows them to put their pets someplace safe so they can go someplace safe themselves.
All right. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay.
Agenda item 2017
Motion carries.
Sorry about that, Chairman. Agenda item 2017-620 Record Services Policy and Procedure. This involves central dispatch for Chippewa and Macon counties. I believe it's Luce County is in there too. There's no action taken. Committee and chairman comments, there were none. Adjourned, it was moved by Commissioner McLean, second by Commissioner Savoy to adjourn the meeting and voice call vote. Motion is carried, and I would so move.
Support. Motion made and supported to accept the minutes of Buildings and Grounds. Any discussion? All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed, vote nay. Motion carries.
Meeting was declared adjourned at 10:37 a.m.
Thank you. And I think we can move on at this moment to, we accepted the minutes, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'll make sure I didn't skip something there. Commissioner report on meetings. I feel like I haven't done this in a while. I'm not quite back in my
It's summer.
Commissioner report on meetings as board representative and general comments. Anybody? Go ahead.
I'll make it quick because we've kind of drawn this one out a little bit. I got to go to that wonderful Drummond Island Internet Alliance meeting, which they're talking about improving services on Drummond Island by either creating a township-owned and run internet provider or a co-op based one. And we're getting some encouraging words. We've heard from some people at Lake State that might be interested in helping with it, and Northern Michigan University has been contacted as well. They have a $6.5 million grant to help communities get broadband. So we're hoping that it goes forward.
Good luck. Anyone else? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support. Motion made and supported that we adjourn. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.